Welcome to the FCICA product webinar series. We are pleased to have Wade Brown of Construction Specialties with us today. Wade, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Lizzie. I appreciate it. And thanks, everybody on the phone for taking some time out today to listen about a pretty straightforward product called Entrance Mats and Grids. And just want to introduce myself really quick. I'm Wade Brown. I am the National Sales Manager for the Entrance Flooring Division at Construction Specialties. And I'll get a little more into who we are as a company and what we provide. But just want to let you know I will try to keep this as short as possible so you can get back to your day. I know you have a lot going on. And I want you to please forgive me ahead of time. I'm fighting a cold this morning, as you can hear. So please excuse my coughing as it comes up, and hopefully we can get through this in one piece. So just a little bit about CS. If you're not familiar with Construction Specialties, just a little bit about who we are. As a company, we were founded in 1948 by that gentleman in the picture there, Ed Halleck, in Cranford, New Jersey. I'm in Muncie, Pennsylvania. We have offices located throughout the U.S. We have 5 in the U.S. and 15 worldwide. So we have a nice global reach. We sell, as you're going to hear about today, entrance mats and grids, but we also sell other products that aren't necessarily flooring related, such as aggregate wall protection. Some of you might run into expansion joint covers here and there, louvers, exterior grills, sunshades, products like that. So we have quite the diverse array of products. So we like to think we're a leader in the industry when it comes to architectural products. One interesting note, when it comes to the entrance mats and grids, and I'll explain a little more about what that is in case you're not familiar with it, but back in 1968, we were actually the very first company to introduce those products. So, they've come a long way in the last 50 plus years, but we were the very first to come forward with them, and I think we've grown a long way since the initial Pedigrid days of the initial product we launched. And again, since then, and over the last 50 years, we have manufactured thousands of these systems. We are in some of the most notable buildings around the world, World Trade Center, the Pentagon, Houses of Parliament, and on and on and on. So very popular product, a product that gets used quite a bit, and one that you can't necessarily live without if you're an owner or a facility manager. So, and also we are a longtime FCICA member. We're proud to support FCICA and be able to bring this presentation to you today. So in case you don't know what an entrance mat or grid is, I would hope that being in the flooring industry, you are familiar with the systems, but in case you're not, just like at your house, you have to keep dirt, debris, and moisture from going into your home. The same has to be done in a commercial building. And our products are designed specifically for commercial applications. The whole purpose and the whole job is to trap that dirt, debris, and moisture, keep it from entering the building, keep the building safe and clean. A majority of the products that we manufacture and even in the industry are made of aluminum. Stainless steel has become another metal that's been more popular, and even some other materials that can compromise the system. The products are designed to be easily rolled back or removed for cleaning, so it's not they just don't sit in there and magically trap dirt. They have the ability to be removed, rolled back, taken out, cleaned, you vacuum the recess, and so on. And the whole point is to keep the dirt trapped at the front door and not going farther into the building. So they're intended to be a permanent solution. So I know a lot of facilities and a lot of facility managers go now for throw-down mats, rental mats, carpet tiles, those type of things. And they all have their place, but we recommend having a permanent solution, an engineered system similar to products that we make because they work really well in trapping the dirt and debris at the door. So, again, why are they needed? Keep the facilities clean. Again, when you trap that dirt at the door and stop it at the door, just like at home, you wipe your feet at the door. That way you don't get your carpet farther into the building damaged or your flooring damaged where they need to be replaced. So it ends up being a cost savings from replacing flooring farther into the building. It negates the negative effects of weather, especially when it comes to safety. Being in the Northeast, and I'm sure everyone's located in different areas, but the snow and the sleet there's a high potential for slip and falls, especially this time of year. So having something at the front door that stops traps the moisture and stops the potential for a safety hazard is very important. And lastly, a lot of times they're included. Architects have found some of these systems to be a design element, and so there's a first impression and aesthetic need, not only for the way the mat looks, but also, again, keeping your facility, such as a hospital or a grocery store or anything, clean. It's that first impression when you walk into the building that you're not going to see a dirty floor or grimy floor. So just a real quick review on what's available. Like I mentioned, probably 90% of the products that are out there are made of aluminum. They roll up, or there's some type of grid that sits down into the floor. We have stainless steel grids, which have become very, very popular over the years, and anybody on the phone that has installed stainless steel grid will tell you they are a real bear sometimes, very difficult. So, and PVC and carpet mats. So there's quite an array. I mean, the budget and the dollar amounts, you can have something as cheap as $3 a square foot all the way up into the hundreds of dollars a square foot. So there's a lot of materials out there. So what's the point? Why am I telling you all this? How does it affect you? The reason I wanted to present today isn't to so much tell you about our products. I'm hoping you understand and know what the product types are and have hopefully used them before, installed them before. But what I want to tell you about is a project that we took on a couple of years ago. It came out of the need of getting to know you, our customer base. We do a lot of promotion. I'm sure a few of you, we've been in your office to show you our products and how we can help partner with you on installation. But you guys are our customer base, and we are a manufacturer. We don't install. You install. And we needed, I guess, if you don't know what you don't know, we really needed to pick the brains of professionals like yourself to understand, what are your needs, what are your pain points, and so on, and really get that voice of the customer. So about 2 years ago, we journeyed down that path, and we wanted to do a survey. We tried to do it nationwide. We surveyed over 100 installers throughout the country, throughout the U.S., and the point of what we wanted to know or what we wanted to learn from you was questions like I have listed here on the screen. Do you like or prefer to install these systems, or do you get stuck with them? I don't know how often I have always heard, I got stuck with the mats in my scope, and now I got to do it, and it can be kind of a pain. So what are the pain points that you have? Are they hard to install? They're not profitable, those type of things. That's what we wanted to learn. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And what can we do to make the process easier? And through all that feedback, again, tried possibly to get not just changes in the design of our product to make it easier to install, but also changes in our process to make it easier for you to install and to be a better partner with you. So that's what I want to talk to you about today, is just the survey that we did, the responses that we received, and then how we went forward with that to, again, help you, our customer base. So what we found after doing the survey, the results were a majority of the installers preferred to not have the mats and grids in their scope. And again, I mentioned that earlier. Sometimes it's, you're working with hundreds of thousands of dollars in carpet and tile and all these things, and then somebody throws a $5,000 entrance mat your way that you've never installed before, and it's either not profitable for you or you're not comfortable with it, and it becomes a problem because the GC now just put it in your lap. So as a company, we want to make life easier for you. We don't want you to have that feeling. We have found from our results that the installation can be painful if you don't know what you're doing, or if it's your first time, or you're not doing them that often. They also felt that from a profitability standpoint, if you underbid, or if you maybe overbid, you lost the potential to get the scope, or possibly you're doing the work and you made a mistake, or you missed ordering something, you ordered something incorrectly, then all of a sudden what could have been somewhat profitable for you ended up being a loss. So again, there was just a lack of comfortability with understanding how to do budget pricing, labor pricing. The installers wanted more training. They wanted installation instructions and even videos that made life a little easier, and even a field measuring service to take some of the risk off of them. So those were the types of feedback and the type of comment that we received. And it was a wake-up call. To be honest, it wasn't a surprise. It confirmed our suspicions. We, as a manufacturer, we're putting out a product that we're proud of and we think it's high quality and we do a good job with it, but we don't realize on the other end what the end user has to deal with after they take control of the material. So it confirmed some of our suspicions. It made us look at ourselves, but it really did give us an opportunity to make improvements. And, any company that wants to continue to be in business has to constantly look to improve and definitely from the customer base side, what can we do to be a better partner and work better? So it was a perfect opportunity for us to make some changes. And what I want to just go through really quickly, and this is kind of the meat of the presentation, is for those of you, again, that either have installed before or looking to install in the future or would like to learn more to possibly put them in your scope as a profitable part of your bid, we took all of this feedback and piece by piece, we went through each and every point and sat down and met and spent a lot of time. And we like to think we covered almost everything. I'm sure there's a lot of things that are still out there that need to be implemented or put in place. But what we did was we put together all this information into one place called our Online Installer Resource Center. And the point of that was, again, as an installer, you're busy, you have all these things going on during the day, all these things you have to put together. How can I have a one-stop shop, a place for me to come together and and get all the information that I need to put my bid together, to install, to feel comfortable, and so on? What we did was we put it all in one place. We put it on our website, and that way everyone has easy access to it and can be comfortable finding the information and reaching out to it. One of the one of the most important things I think that we did that came out of the whole situation was having videos. When we install anything in our house, when we buy something, when we want to replace a sink, we want to change cabinets, we want to, whatever it is, put a child's toy together, we seem to run to YouTube right away and look for videos. And we found that was probably the most important tool that was needed or required that we didn't offer. Having written instructions, being able to read these instructions and see these instructions just wasn't enough. So we found our most important thing that we could provide and offer was being able to have a video to show how to install each and every product and frame that we offer. And by doing that, we learned a lot, because not only did we have to put the video together, but while we were putting the video together, we had to install the product. And we noticed with our traditional written instructions, man, we were really missing information. We skipped some steps. There were some steps that might have been added over the years in the process that we never updated our instructions. So looking at it from a installer's standpoint, we were just saying, wow, this is such an area where we could really improve. And after we launched these videos and put them in our library, just the feedback that we got from as we resurveyed our customers was just fantastic. They just were so happy that they had access to these videos that taught them so much. They felt so comfortable with these videos and felt more ease when it came to installing. And not only did we just do videos for each product, but we also did some ancillary videos similar to what do you do if you get the mat in the field that doesn't fit? How can I cut it? What if it's too long? How do I take a rail off? What if it's too short? How do I add a rail? So not just the product itself, but some of these ancillary videos that the day-to-day questions that would come into our tech service center. So we made videos to help represent that, and we feel it was really successful. Then, while we were replacing those, we replaced our installation instructions, the written installation instructions. We used snippets from the videos. Again, a pictures are worth 1,000 words. You can see the step, and then below it is an updated and correct way of installing. It was out of date before, now it's up to date, it's correct. And again, those pictures take you through each step. So if you don't have access to a video or if you're on the job site, again, you can still see those. So those two really went hand in hand, but they ended up being so important from an installation standpoint for those who were already comfortable with installing the systems. Just having, again, a refresher to see how they go together was a really big improvement. One of the areas where we got a lot of feedback with a pain point was budget pricing. Not everyone has time to wait for a quote from the manufacturer or a rep. So they were just, I got a bid coming in today. The GC asked me to throw something together. They put this in my scope. I really got to get a price, and I don't have, X amount of time to wait for the factory to get me a quote. So one of the things we added to the resource center that we wanted to make available is a budget pricing guide. And again, it's not perfect. It's not going to cover every scenario, but it gives you, if you have a last minute need where you got to put a bid together, it gives you a chance to say, okay, I need to install this product, and it's this amount of square footage, and it's this much per square foot. So you can get a rough idea if you have to plug a number and you can't wait for your quote. Obviously, at the end of the day, you want to have a quote, but this is kind of a stopgap just in case you can't do that. To go along with that, one of the big requests we also got was having a labor estimate guide, which, similar to putting the material together, is how long do these mats take to install? And again, every job site's different, every condition's different, every project's going to be different, so you can't cover everything, but we feel we were able to give enough time, depending on the frame type or whatever the condition is, to say, I'm using this product and it's this much square footage, it's going to take this amount of time. So now, again, if you're in a pinch, you can come to these resources. I can get a quick material price, a quick labor price, and it's going to take me 10 hours to put in this material, and I need, then you can figure out how many man hours you need, or the type of materials you need, equipment, grout, screed, those type of things. So you can put something together in a pinch. So again, we found that to be very important, and again, it's that coinciding with the videos, being able to look at the videos and say, okay, I see how this product gets installed. You guys are professionals. You guys could probably put together pretty quickly. My crew can get this installed in an X amount of time and for X dollars, and you can make an educated bid where before you might have just been doubling the square foot or doubling the material quoted price, just to so you have a number there. So those resources are available. And another one that we've always offered, but we haven't really advertised, but which we're starting to do more, is our field services. We are the only entrance mat and grid manufacturer that offers on-site field services that I'm aware of, as far as taking field dimensions and measurements or creating digital or paper templates for odd-shaped units. So if you don't have the money to spend for a factory tech to come out, we have a template DIY kit you can do yourself and put together, and we come with instructions and a video, and you can lay out your template to match the condition you have in the field. If there's money in your budget, you can have a CS technician come out, take those measurements. We use a laser measuring tool called a disto, which of course is used in other construction processes, but we get tolerances down to a 64th of an inch from those field conditions. So when we come back, that mat or grid is going to be manufactured exactly as it looks there in the field. And if for some reason something would go wrong, having us do the measurements, we take full responsibility. So for a small fee, it almost becomes an insurance policy. So if it's wrong, we fix it, we replace it at no charge, and do the right thing for you. We also offer, we found it's been very popular on larger projects where we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in entrance matting, which again is not your everyday. Our average mat and grid installations, $3,000 to $5,000. But when you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars at places like airports, convention centers, those type of things, if your crew's not comfortable, we offer services where we'll send our factory techs out to be with you the first day or first 2 days of the installation. We don't do an installation ourselves, but we're there to help you get everything uncrated and get the materials in order and start installing the materials, give you some tips and tricks, and just be there to answer questions. And we found on some of these larger projects, that's been such a valuable resource for the installers, because now you're not just getting a box and, oh no, what do I got to do? Somebody's there to help you walk through. And if you're really interested in your whole crew and your whole team or sales team learning about entrance systems, and you think it could be a very profitable part of your business, we even offer a training. I put the word certified, and I shouldn't have put certified on there because we don't really certify, but we have an in-house training or an in-house at your office training that we can put together. Someone can come and go through installations and tips and tricks, and even they'll do a little bit of hands-on at your office so the crew is comfortable with the materials. Or you could come here to our factory, and we have all the mock-ups and everything ready to go here, where we could again do a pretty thorough training for your team. Again, that's not probably something that everybody could do, but it is available if anyone on the phone has the need or desire to do that. And then another thing that just came out of, again, the survey and the pain points is, we know most of the time when you are installing these products, you are not the one that prepared the recess. And that's always seems to be the biggest headache, is whatever the general contractor or the concrete contractor left you is what you have to deal with. So you get there and it's out of square, it's the depth is inconsistent throughout, the sidewalls of the recess are not plumb. I mean, all those things, it's your responsibility to make it right. Or when you get these mat systems and you install, they're not gonna fit. They won't lay flat. There could be a whole range of issues because of an improper recess condition. So another thing we have on our Installer Resource Center is just a quick checklist, and we also send it out with our shop drawings as well, is just to make sure that you've thought of all these things before you just take the mat or grid out of the crate and install it. You got to make sure the recess is flat and smooth and all those different conditions. There's a lot to think about that you don't really think about with an entrance mat and grid. It sounds like it's a pretty simple, straightforward thing, but there's a lot of things you got to think about and make sure are correct before you finish the installation. And we just wanted to point those things out on our resource center. And lastly, by again getting that voice of the customer, not only learning what the pain points are from a product or a process standpoint, but also hearing again the time constraints that you live with day to day, is how could we as a company improve ourselves? And again, lead times is always an issue for any company. But we, again, looked at our processes, looked at ways we could improve, how we could better and more efficiently handle inventory and staffing and all those things. And we were proud to not only be able to change the processes and have content pieces for the Installer Resource Center, but also improve our lead times. When you need a quote, we know you need it quick, so we get it turned around for you in less than 24 hours. We currently have an online store, but we have a new and improved online store coming here in the next few months, where you can go straight to our website and purchase standard mats and grids right directly from the website, and without any human interaction. You can order and get the material pretty quickly. Drafting is another area where we've been pretty successful, getting some new submittals out within a week and revisions and releases within 2 to 3 days, so we're not wasting any time in between. Manufacturing, of course, is the most important. One thing we're very proud of, about 80% of our product line is the typical standard aluminum products that you see every day. And if they don't have any major cuts or notches, radiuses, those things, just the standard day-to-day rectangle square, we're able to push those out in less than 2 weeks. So very quick, a good quick lead time. Most of the products we get, though, because of how things are left for you, have some type of an odd shape or a cutout, possibly for columns and those type of things. But even those, we've been able to improve the lead times to 3 to 4 weeks. And again, it all depends on the product. Some of the stainless products run a little longer, and if you get into items where they're powder coated or things like that, you're going to have an extended lead time. But for a majority of the material that we put out, the lead times are very aggressive, and we're very proud that we're able to turn things around so quickly. And of course, we always have expedited shipping available. So we could have, depending where you're at in the country, we could have that matter grid to you either the next day or within 2 days. So again, when you're in a time crunch, very important things to have available and think about. So again, what's the point? We just want you to know, as our customer, we listen to you. For those of you that have installed or had issues or even comfortable with installing the product, we listen to you and we feel we learned what you needed. We put ourselves in your shoes, and that, again, gave us the opportunity to self-reflect, make some changes, add new processes, content pieces, and so on. Our whole goal is we just want to take the fear out of mats and grids. A lot of times, it's not necessarily a real fear. It's just, the old, I have these in my scope and I don't really want to deal with them. So we want to make things as easy as possible. We're constantly looking to improve, and we really want to be your sole provider. There's a lot of manufacturers out there. Most of the products we sell are commodity products, and there's a lot of manufacturers out there that sell these products. You can go on the web and find quite a few, but we want to be your sole provider, and we want to offer you resources and continual improvement and great lead times and great service and all those things, because we want to set ourselves apart from just that guy you can go to on the internet and buy a mat. We want to partner with you, and we want to work with you, and again, we want to learn more. We're not just stopping here. We want to know what additional resources you need. We want to know how we can continue to improve and get better. So having said that, if you have an upcoming project for a mat and grid, and again, if you're comfortable, that's awesome. If you're not, please contact us. We are a phone call away. We have many, many experts here. Most people in this department here have worked with CS 10, 20, 30 years. So a lot of expertise here. And we have 70 factory reps throughout all 50 states. So depending on where you're located, I guarantee you there's probably a rep very close. And you probably may have already worked with them maybe on some other projects. So, and again, the most important thing I wanted to just point out today is that installer resource. So it's available on our website. You can go there at any time. You just log on to that web address right there, and all of those resources that I showed you, and a few more that I didn't talk about, are on there and available for your use at any time. So with that, I just want to say thank you again for your time and bearing with me, and I hope I was able to educate you a little bit on not just our systems, but how we're trying to just improve and make things easier for you and partner with you. And again, if you want to reach me, right here is my contact information. I'm available at any time, and I'd love to talk to you about partnering. So with that, I'll turn it back to Lizzie.
Thank you so much, Wade. That was so interesting. So now, if anyone has any questions, you can see on the left-hand panel, the Q&A is at the top right of that left-hand panel, so you can click on that, submit your questions, and Wade can give you some answers. So Wade, we do have a couple sitting here already. Hussein would like to know, how do we become a preferred installer?
That's a good question. And again, I did need to change that slide. I'm glad to use the word preferred instead of certified. But a preferred installer is just, from our point of view, we do get asked, and especially our representatives, a lot of questions from general contractors who, when they know they have to provide these products, they'll say, do you have any good customers, preferred customers that you could recommend to us? And The answer is we just want to be able to work with you, know that you know what you're doing. Of course, the more projects we work on together, and the more we know you're trained and understand. That's pretty much how we go through it. There's no certificate process or anything like that. However, again, using these resources, and if we would come into your facility or you would come here, we definitely could feel comfortable saying you're a preferred installer, and we'd love to have that. But again, it's nothing, no certificate or card-carrying membership, but it just comes with working together and getting a few projects under your belt, and we are comfortable and have a good relationship with each other.
Thank you so much for that. Another question ready to go. Have you gotten any feedback from customers about how much time has been saved on installation with the new videos and instructions?
Yeah, actually, right after, it's a good question, right after we launched the installer resource, one of our customers that we surveyed actually had a project come up, and they were a customer that they buy here and there. They just don't have quite the volume that maybe I would say a best customer would have. But they were able to use the videos when preparing their to get ready to do their installation. And they'd come back and they were very complimentary to us about the amount of time it saved. They said by seeing it and understanding how the product went together and was installed. They didn't give me a number. I don't know if they could have threw a number together, but I'm sure they saved a few $100s or maybe even $1,000 just on not having to have as many crew members there and understanding how much materials such as self-leveling grout and those type of things. So yes, there has been some good feedback all around on that. I don't know if I have specific dollar amounts, but definitely have heard the feedback since we've launched the information.
Okay, I see another question here. What is the fee for Construction Specialties to come take field measurements and make a template?
All right, and that'll vary depending where you're located, because we're in Pennsylvania. If you're in California, let's say, we have to fly there. We don't use it as a profit center, so it's not something we necessarily make money from. It's just a service that we want to provide as part of our overall package. If you're in the East Coast and we're in driving range, the fees could be anywhere between $700 to $900 versus if you're in, say, Seattle, Washington, you might be looking around $2,000 to $2,500, just, again, based on having to rent a car, airfare, hotel, that type of thing. But, again, it's very minimal, and, again, we like to really push that it's an insurance policy. Because, again, if something's wrong and it doesn't fit or any issues, it's on us. So that takes a lot of the risk off of an installer, especially if you're not comfortable with installing.
Wow, that's a really cool service that you guys offer. So those are all of the questions that I see, and I'm not seeing any others coming through. So if anyone else does have questions, feel free to reach out to Wade, or you can reach out to me, and I'll pass that along to Wade. We really want to make sure that all of your questions are answered. But Wade, on behalf of FCICA, thank you so much for presenting today's webinar, sponsored by Construction Specialties. It was a lot of really cool information, and I just love how you guys went back to the users for what you guys could do better and all of the cool stuff that you're now providing. So everyone, this webinar's recording and handouts will be available on FCICA's Member Center and on this education platform. Certified installation managers who attended can now navigate to their education credit profile to submit for their credit. If you are looking for other continuing education opportunities, you can access previous webinars by navigating to the courses section and clicking the On Demand button, and visit our training resources page on the FCICA website for other offerings. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a great day.